Happy Mother's Day! My name is Noemi Gaines.
And I'm Sharnika Howard.
And we are sister friends.
Yes,
and we are sharing a little bit about us through this Happy Mother's Day podcast.
We're sharing a lot. It's for the mothers, the aunties, the godmoms, the ones that have a tribe, that are looking for a tribe, that are open to new experiences, that are
anxious and curious about life.
Yeah, it's for you.
Yeah. But we also want you to share your perspective on what we're talking about. So we welcome you along this ride. Happy Mother's Day!
Happy Mother's Day!
I'm never going to get tired of saying that. And I hope, did you catch mothers?
Mother.
Happy Mother's Day.
M-U-V-A.
Happy Mother's Day, guys. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode. Miss Sharnika Howard said that she's going to take the lead on this episode. So I don't even know what we're about to talk about, but
it's a surprise.
I'm excited.
No, I think it'll be good. So in another episode, you touched on it and we didn't really dive deep into it. And I just wanted to spend a little time on it.
Okay.
So I can't remember what I asked you or why, but you went into the importance of like nurturing your marriage above anything else at home. And I'm not married, but I felt like, perhaps we should just talk a little bit about the importance of like being in the moment at home or honoring that space and what that looks like for each of us, because our lives are kind of different at home. So,
which is
you remember?
I don't, but I'm going to tell you what I think and I want you to redirect me. It's very hard for me to associate my marriage with being at home because I feel like the priority it's the girls, it's the kids. So when I'm thinking about being at home, I'm thinking about doing what I have to do for my kids. I'm lost and also a little bit sad because I'm like, dang, like he is a part of the home. But I didn't.
So when you're at home, I'm sorry to interject. When you're at home, you're just focused on the girls, like their routine.
Yeah, I'm on autopilot when I'm at home. But I will say that like I wish I felt more present with everything at home. I'm just not there yet. Maybe I am, and maybe I'm just misreading myself because I don't know what it is. So what did I say?
We were talking. I know it's fuzzy, but you said something. So in our friendship, I am really big on you and Kier having time together. Wow. I'm the same with another one of my favorite couples, and I will get their children just like I get yours so that you two can date. And you were sharing that, you hadn't been pushed in that way in some of your other friendships or whatever. And so I just wanted to know like how it plays out. So then, and I get that. I can totally see that. I think, and I'll share later, which is perhaps part of why I may not want to get married. Maybe I should unpack that in therapy. But I could see how when you're at home, you're just focused on the children. But then how do you...
I remember the conversation.
How do you ensure then that you and Kier get what you need? But before we go to you and Kier then, how are you so able to be so present then with the girls with everything else that you have going on? And I imagine that you don't always get it right.
I don't. And I would even say that I don't get it right the majority of the time, but I try to celebrate my wins when I do. And I think a lot of it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of intentionality. It's a lot of planning. It doesn't just happen. So like, for example, maybe this is oversharing, whatever. I tend to be a hyper organizer, and I recently purchased these bins. Don't laugh at me. Where I pre-plan my girls' outfits for the week beforehand. I don't want to deal with I don't want to wear this. This is what no. We pre-plan the outfits. I look at the weather. I make sure things are clean because I have a mountain of laundry. We just got a lot going on. And I find myself doing that a lot more. I also pre-plan my meals. So it's just like I do like a meal service at home. I do HelloFresh right now. But before then, I would pre-plan everything that I wanted to make that week, order those groceries for the week, and then kind of either pre-cook or just have it like the things that I have to cook. making sure those meals are 30 minutes or less. If this is like you need to marinate the chicken or the fish the day before, it's not getting made that day, you know? And I just think that like, I have to do that for my peace of mind, mostly because I kind of I know I look at myself last as far as like who I need to be present for, but I make time for myself every day. So if that means today is the baby's day, or today we're going on a date with Kier, regardless of what happens, at the end of the day, I need to have my me time. I haven't always been that way, but it really took me having an emotional breakdown, actually, a couple of those. But I just think that I think the best way for me to be present for anybody else is to make sure that I have time for myself.
Absolutely.
Even if I'm not first, like allocating that little bit of time for myself. And I think a perfect example is at home. We moved into a new house and we have a big bathroom. And everybody's in the bathroom. When mommy's taking a shower, everybody's in there, everybody's talking. The whole family can fit in the bathroom and will bother me. So when I'm like, I don't want anybody in here. I want to take a shower by myself. Get out. Go do something else. So it's just like things is little. It doesn't seem that big.
Yeah, but it's big.
It's big. It makes I can be better for you if I have time for myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And over time, they start to see it.
Yeah. And over time, they do it themselves. Your girl is the biggest person that'll say, Mommy, I need some me time. She'll go to her room. She'll close the door and lock it. We let her lock her door. She don't lock us out. If I knock on the door, it's going to open. But for her, it's giving her, one, the autonomy and like the advocacy skills to ask for it, but also knowing that, you know, she's allowed to have privacy. She's allowed to have her own time. I know a lot of you, we posted this online before, everybody didn't, you know, they weren't really feeling that. But I think if you establish rules and boundaries around that, they'll get it.
Absolutely.
And they need it. And I told you, I think we talked about this in another episode too. Queenie needs space from you.
Yes. She told me, we need it. We need that.
Everybody needs space from their everyday, day-to-day types of life. Like everybody needs alone time, you know.
So for me, you know, being present, and we kind of touched on this previously, it means outsourcing some things. The things that I don't really enjoy doing or I don't have the capacity to do. Not doing those things so that I'm not irritated because I have to do them. And so that helps me to be present. I set boundaries around my time for my work and what that looks like. And when I have to shut it off, I shut it off. But a few weeks ago, your girl, I was responding. So Queenie is not afraid of the dark. This child has never been afraid of the dark. And she likes to sleep without the lights on like her mom. And I was on my phone and I was responding to an email.
Oh, so the glare. You were interrupting.
First of all, she sleeps with me. Okay,
it's your room.
She in my room. But she wakes up and she goes and she puts her hand on her phone. She's like, please put your phone down. And she goes back to sleep. And I didn't. I was like, okay, give me a second. I kept on going. I was responding to a rather lengthy email, and not something that I typically do, but I saw it and I just wanted to respond. And she was like, Mommy, are you working? But it felt like judgment, you know?
Like it is sleep time.
So I lied. I said, no.
How long did that lie get
well,
you?
She was girl, but she was half asleep.
Okay, that's the only reason.
The next morning, though, I told her I can't. I was like, I lied. Mommy wasn't being truthful. I was responding to an email. Sorry, but yeah, but that bothered me. It's like, okay, my child is saying, you know, judging me basically for working in the middle of the night. Which is not something I typically do. It was some nonprofit stuff. I just wanted to respond, but. I try to set boundaries around my time, like the time for myself, the time between she and I. And as you were, I think I interjected to say something, and I hit on the fact that perhaps I need to talk about it in therapy. Like
Let's talk about it a little bit now.
I know, right? On the couch. Let me lay down.
Let's do it.
But I really value the time that I have with Queenie. And I am not interested right now in sharing that time that we get at home. And I feel like, bringing someone else into that, which I'm sure would be beautiful, and it would have its ups and downs, whatever. But I just really enjoy what we have, and I've created this. She and I have created this space that's just for us, where when we're at home, it's our time, and most times if I am on the phone, I try to end it as I walk in the door. Like the clock for her starts now. And then like you, sometimes I get my time on the back end. Or, during the week, when Queenie is at school, I might have a spa day, or I might get time with friends or whatever. But those things, like you said, allow me to be present and in the moment at home. Yeah. Another thing for me too is because she's 5 and she has these emotions and they range.
And if you have a 5-year-old, exactly what we're talking about.
And her name is Queenie, so you named
her. Okay. She's living up to the name.
All day. Next time I'm gonna name her Quiet. But
wait, don't you know somebody named Quiet? Are they quiet? I guess it don't work. Queenie was gonna be a queen.
But what also helps me to be present is that I try to anticipate her moods. So I know that if, especially during the summer, we might do things during the week and we get home a little bit later. Well, that's my fault. So that means in the morning she's going to be a little grumpy. Well, I make sure that I get up early enough, that I am woosah, because I can't add to that. And I let her be. It's not that she didn't wake up on the wrong side. No, mama, y'all stayed out too late last night. But preparing for that mentally allows me to be in the moment, to navigate that gracefully with the 5-year-old who doesn't know how to always navigate things gracefully. Right. So thank you. Regulate her emotions. You are married to a therapist, because that is not what I would have said. But thank you. So that's how I am learning to be more in the moment. Therapy certainly helps. I'm looking for a new therapist.
I got one for you.
You do?
Girl. Okay. Of course I do.
Yeah, okay.
I have a list. Yeah. I have one specifically that I think will be great for you.
Yes?
Let me do the introduction.
Okay.
She's booked. She has a wait list.
Well, tell her I'm your fan. But I think you really hit the nail on the head. Like, taking care of myself is the best way to preserve whatever else I have to give at home and to be present. And like by starting to, just take care of myself first. And I'm a big supporter of mommy first. Mommy first, because everyone else benefits. But while I'm a big supporter of it, I share it, I talk about it all the time, I don't always do it.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to push. I was going to be like, that sounds cool, but...
No, heck no. I have a nonprofit, I'm working, I'm raising this queen, I have friendships that are important to me, I'm in a relationship that is important to me, my family. And so, I absolutely take a back seat sometimes. And sometimes that's resentfully, and other times I'm happy to.
Right.
So it's just kind of navigating that. Back to you though.
Yes. Because I'm like, I am anticipating questions.
Yes. So you answered like how you're, present and focusing in the moment with the girls, like what helps you to do that. What about you and Kier? Like, you all have so much we all have a lot going on, and that's all relative. So I'm not even going to go there, but how do you make sure that you're present in those moments?
Yeah. So Kier and I have a phrase that a lot of people say, but it's like, F these kids. Because at the end of the day, I'm like, I just met you. I love you, but I just met you. And it's like, the reason why, I feel like the relationship with my babies are so strong and I'm so present is because I have a partner that recognizes that that's important to me. And I have a partner who shares in those goals. Like, Kier wants to spend time with his kids too, but it's like, you're not happy if you're not happy with yourself and if your wife's not happy. You know what I mean? I think that we hold each other as very important people in each other's lives. You know what I mean? And I think that we're so in sync right now that just feeds off of the family energy. Like when we came back, we recently went to Atlanta for 24 hours, but it felt like I went on vacation for the weekend. Like, and it's just, everything didn't all work out. There was some hiccups, flights were delayed, and there was, a couple of issues. But like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna say it's easy. I feel like easy is the wrong word, but it feels easy right now because we put a lot of work into the relationship. So like, let me just give you a sneak peek into our therapy sessions. The first time that we went to therapy, we've both been to individual therapy, and my husband is a therapist. So like, we didn't have to have that preliminary, like, do you want to go to therapy question? It was we need to go. So who's going to schedule it? But our first therapy session, we realized we had to like list all of the grievances that we had with each other, because it wasn't a happy conversation. It was, we just had this baby and we're arguing a lot. It's not, this is before we were even engaged. And I think it was the catalyst to us getting engaged, honestly. Or maybe it was around the time that around that time, but definitely before we got married. And we listed all of our grievances. And, I don't like it when you do this. I don't like the way you treat me with this. I don't like the way you talk about all these things. First of all, it was a list. He's like, we're not going to get into all of this in therapy. We might only get to one. And it was like 10 things on there. I was like, are we doomed? Like, what you mean you're only going to get to one? That was before I understood that therapy is like, it's not like we're going to do this and you're going to get to an end goal. You may never solve the problem. It's a perspective shift. It's like, how do you change your perspective? How do you work through these things so that you can have a better life? Not the best life, not a life free of drama, free of strain. It's just, this is supposed to help you navigate through life.
Okay.
And once we kind of went through those lists of grievances, we realized that most of that stuff had nothing to do with each other. It was our own personal stuff. And I think that the reason, and just going back to like how we're able to make time for each other, is realizing that even though you saying this pissed me off, you doing this triggered me, this is not a you problem. This is the way that I'm interpreting these things. This is a miscommunication. This is me not being honest about how I'm feeling. All of those, a lot of the problems that I've had with Kier in our relationship stem from unspoken expectations, trauma from my own childhood, trauma from my parents' divorce, insecurities about how I communicate. It's rarely Kier did this stupid thing and he's just a stupid person, and it's rarely ever that case. So I think the way that we're able to kind of center ourselves when we're at home is understanding like all of that is the noise, and I want to get to you, the person. That's who I like. I like you, the person. I don't know that everybody can say that about their spouses,
which is so unfortunate.
And
I feel like like is so much more important than love.
I like him, the person. You know what I mean? And I also think that it matters to him that I like him. You know what I mean? So like, he's not being kind to me because he's my husband. He's being kind to me because I'm his friend, and I deserve that kindness, and I deserve that grace. The same way that we talked about in the previous episode about kids deserving second chances. And this can be problematic because what you need a second chance from? That's the deeper question. But as far as like, I don't know, saying something that feels offensive to me, did he really mean it? Did he really? This man's really out here trying to piss. He woke up today. He's like, I'm gonna get under her skin and I'm gonna piss her off. That's the question that I ask myself every time I get annoyed. Every time like I don't want to spend time with him. The answer is always no. He doesn't know that I stayed up all night doing X, Y, and Z. And what we do now is, like, an example could be, cleaning up is a trigger for me because everybody just got stuff all over the place, and I am an OCD clean freak. I was raised in a way where if you messed up the house, you're being disrespectful to your parents. You spent their hard-earned money to put you in. You know what I mean? And while I understand why that was a thing for my family, I didn't establish those things with mine. So to put these, to apply these unrealistic expectations to people that I've never even communicated that to is not fair. So I was washing the dishes and I was pissed, and he can tell I was upset. He's like, babe, is everything okay? I'm like, I'm not upset with you. I'm just mad I gotta wash these damn dishes. and like I feel like I just washed all the dishes, I just did all these things, so I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I just really don't like doing dishes. And he was like, oh babe, I'll do the dishes. Like, and it's not cleaning up that I hate, it's doing the dishes.
Yeah.
I don't mind fixing the beds. Shoot, I don't even mind wiping down the windows, but it's something about dishes that was such a trigger for me. You know what I mean? And I think like one, being honest about that, and then just communicating those things. And outside of that, I feel like because we kind of have a relationship where we can speak openly, and I can tell him I'm not mad at you, and he believes me. I'm not mad at you, but I'm mad. It's not your fault, but I'm mad because it's, and I can say, it's my trigger. You know how it is with these damn dishes. Like I can just say these damn dishes. Like I get it. So not only does that take the pressure off of him, but then it'll be like, okay, well, she's frustrated. She's in this mood. So let me do these dishes and then spend some time with her so that she feels better. It's like an unspoken.
Yes.
We're just in sync.
But then when you have that time together, how do you make sure that you're not thinking about the kids or content or whatever? How do you just
remind each other?
Yeah.
So
if the conversation sways, you're like, forget them kids. Like, bring it back.
Yeah, like forget them kids. They're not here. You know what I mean? But I also think that like it takes practice. Especially I work with my husband all day, every day, every
because I imagine like other married couples deal with this. Like even when they go out on a date night, are they talking about their kids? Like, I mean, I have a thing, with friendship, like we're not talking about the children.
Or I give people time. It's like, you got 20 minutes.
Oh, I like that. 20 more like 5. You got 5 minutes.
No, because sometimes it'd be funny. Like sometimes it's usually we're big talkers. My husband and I talk a lot. We talk for a living. So a 5-minute conversation goes by like 30 seconds. But yeah, and I think the way that we prioritize that, you talked about that earlier, is like the outsourcing. So my nanny's there 5 days a week at this point. It's to the point where she's there so much, she's not even there to watch the kids most of the time. It's there. Like just to have someone there. And it doesn't have to be a nanny. It could be a friend. Yeah. It could be a play date. Like just something for the kids to not be focused on you.
Could be a mommy date.
It could. Oh, I love
that includes
mommy
kids. Oh gosh, and the kids just tear your house up in the other room.
I love mommy dates at home.
Yeah,
because it's like
you do.
I don't want to go out. Come over.
Yeah,
come over and let me come over, because I also have kids. They don't want to sit in a restaurant. Do they even have a kids menu? Yeah. Like you can only play with them crayons and play tic-tac-toe for so long before they're bored. You know what I mean? True. And now we mad at our kids for not acting right in a restaurant. They're not supposed to be there anyway. No, I just don't. I don't want it to come across like I don't want kids in restaurants, but they don't want to be there. That's just what I mean.
We know. Yeah.
I don't know if I answered your question.
You did. Okay. No, you absolutely did answer that. So I think what I know is that we just have to remember that, like, and I say this a lot too, service starts at home, and making sure that, home is right and tight, and you're giving of yourself in a way there that feels peaceful, pouring into yourself on the front end if you can, if not on the back end. It won't always,
Yes, but I still don't kill me for saying this, but I think we have to do it better. It should be on the front end.
Yeah, it should.
It should. I think that
everyone benefits truly when it's on the front end.
I think that when we say it's okay to be on the back end, we are allowing ourselves to not put ourselves first.
For sure.
And I will absolutely say that I wasn't always that person. I am absolutely that person now. I am unapologetic. So much so that I don't even remember that I used to be the other way. So I'm like, girl. I'm like, wait, that was me like 2 years ago. Let me relax. Let me tone it down. But everybody wins. And you said something. You said mommy first. Not mommy first. Shar first. Noemi first.
I like that.
You know what I mean? Because it's outside. It's
outside of motherhood.
And it's like, your kids come first. That has actually never been a thing for me growing up. My mom told the whole like F these kids thing. It started with my mom.
Same.
It started with my mom.
She didn't say it, but
my mom didn't say it, but it wasn't even like her and her relationship. My mom came first in her life. And for a while, I'm not gonna lie, I resented that. And it wasn't until I became a mother that I realized why. And I think I realized why that was important. And I think a lot of times when we think about our childhoods and we think about things that we wish were better, it's so easy to put like a light on the trauma, on the things that really hurt us. But when you think about the day to day, or you think about the way that you move as an individual, and I'm speaking for myself here, I'm so much like my mother. Yeah. And I wish that, you know, I was a martyr mom. You know how they say, like, you just do everything for your kids and you come up last. And I think that's...
You wish you were that?
No, I said I wish I was more like my mom.
Then, okay.
I guess I didn't say it right. Yeah. I was definitely more of like the martyr, you know, kind, where I did everything for Emily. You know what I mean? Even to my own deficit. Like, I was kind of proud of that.
Like, it's proud. A badge of honor. Like,
I was just like, I will do anything for my child. I don't care if I don't sleep and I don't eat. And that was sustainable for a very short amount of time until I
you burn out
completely.
Absolutely.
And then you start to resent. And then you start to, you know, I spiraled into, I believe I had postpartum anxiety. Definitely had it with Sydney, but that was much short-lived because I recognized the signs. But with Emery, I just thought I was tired. I just thought I wasn't doing enough for her, not realizing that no matter how much I did for her, I wasn't doing anything for myself.
Absolutely.
And I think my marriage, you know, suffered the most there. So if I don't even have time for me, definitely, I'm not even worried, you know, about you. But I think the second time around, understanding those signs and giving myself we give our kids so much grace.
Yeah.
So much grace. And then though, I think the hard part is then we get frustrated when our kids don't give it back to us. They don't recognize they don't know how to regulate their emotions. I'm just learning how to do it. And I'm mad at this newly developed human. Right. Not like, you've been in this world. I have items of clothing in my closet that are older than you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I learned that from my mom. And I think like looking back on the way that trying to hyper focus on the way that I was mothered and not really focusing on how I was mothered shaped who I am today. We leave that part out.
I like that.
I left that part out with my mom. I didn't give her the grace and understanding that of course she felt guilty that I wasn't there. You think she was happy to miss certain things? You think she was happy to you know what I mean? Not pour into me the way that she might have wanted to at the time. But I know now that she knew that she was making a sacrifice. Yeah. And it worked out.
Yeah, for sure.
It worked out.
I think a lot of times we think is selfish. Yeah. Like if we put ourselves first. But it's the most selfless thing we can do. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's like selfishness. I'm really doing it for you. I'm doing it for me, but you benefit.
Yeah, guys. But you're doing it for you. Yeah, that's okay to say I'm doing it for me. Period.
That's true.
We have such a negative.
Yes.
Why is selfish bad?
Yeah.
It's not. Yes, you benefit. It's great that you benefit from it.
But it's for
I
me.
Benefit from it. So first. That's why I'm doing it.
First.
Yeah, and even if it benefited nobody, you're a better
full stop.
It doesn't have to be. That's still like a martyrdom type of living. You know what I mean? I think it's okay to be like, I want to do it, period. Even if it takes, I know how much time you want to spend with Queen. There's going to be a point she's not going to spend time with you.
I know. Don't say that out loud.
But you know, but the thing is, like, it's the same way that we let people miss us.
Yeah.
Let her see that it's okay.
For sure.
Know, I mean, with you, it's Queenie sees. I think
yes.
Job.
Well, I don't know. I don't always, but
she does.
We're getting there.
But I think from the outside looking in, I think you do a really, really good job at making time for yourself. But I also want, anybody that's struggling with balancing time with people, with things, with work, with, children, that it's okay for it to benefit you, period.
Yes, and throw the word balance away.
Yeah. Oh, I don't do
that.
Balance.
Mean it's equal. It's sometimes it's not meant to be.
Balance.
You want to intentionally give more to the things in your life that need it in the season. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's your marriage. Sometimes it's your children. Sometimes it's work.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to decipher it. You trust your gut. You start to know, where you need to focus. in one space over the other.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I always say choose harmony, not balance.
I like it.
I'm gonna write these down. No, but honestly, choosing harmony, choose what gives you peace.
Yeah.
Choose what you're like. I don't mind people being upset with me for not showing up to things. I don't mind people being upset with me for not having a certain time for things, because the people that know me and love me, as long as I say, y'all, I needed a second, it's always say less.
Yep.
Say less. And I think that it's really important to surround yourself with people that encourage that too.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
The way we talked about it in another episode, but the way other people's opinions.
Yeah.
Just try.
So I guess the best way to be in the moment at home is to be at peace with yourself.
Yeah.
Like by taking care of you first, and then pouring into.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Absolutely.
You cannot pour from an empty cup, and it's not selfish to fill your cup first. If you know you're about to pour it somewhere, it's okay to enjoy it. Sit that cup on that counter for a little bit. Enjoy it for a second. I really think that that's okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
We know that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. I know that that's okay. I think that's a great way to land this plane. What you think?
Yeah, let's land this plane.
Yeah. So, like you said, the best way to, be present at home?
Yeah, be in the moment.
To be in the moment at home is to just focus on you first.
Yeah. Start with yourself. Make sure your cup is full.
I love that. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
See y'all next time. Bye. We welcome you along this ride. Happy Mother's Day.